seconds. We're live.
All right. Welcome everybody to our, what FC calls, the Big 25 episode of Friday Night Live. Welcome everybody. I am TenthSigma, and I am with the one and only FC Fastcart. What's going on, brother?
So I thought you were going to get me back and call me again.
Oh, you're a guest? I won't do that to you. You know, I have standards, FC. You know what I mean?
Oh, you have standards. How are you doing?
Man? I'm good, dude.
I'm good. I'm alright.
Yeah. How's the week?
Pretty good. Still trying to get over one everything going off.
Oh, word? Yeah, I need to watch that, dude. I'm so behind.
You need to finish that.
Yeah,
you need to finish that.
Everybody says I need to do that, so. I haven't been doing much of anything. It's been a lot of work. I got some projects on the East Coast that I'm working on right now, but happy to be here, man. It's going to be a...
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, have you named all your ships yet?
Have I named all my ships? I have. I found time to do that, yeah. I think they're quite masterful, and they are elegant and fitting of an Origin owner, as well as a couple other ships. But I'm going to wait though.
2 minutes into the show.
You asked me the ship names. I'm not going to say the ship names. I'm not going to tell you. But they're awesome, and they're plastered all over my hull. So that's how it's going to work. What about you? Have you named your ships?
I haven't named it on my ships. Haven't gotten to that point yet.
What?
But I had some names in mind, but we'll see if I'm able to take them up.
So, do we have any time frame for when they'll open it up for the other ships?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, maybe someone in chat can tell us. If anyone in chat knows, pop into Discord and let us know.
Yep. Well, we got a packed show tonight, don't we? We got some cool things going on. We got some news straight out of CIG in the UK studio on some of the collaboration over our favorite theaters of war. I'm not going to drop it yet, but we're going to be talking about it. I docket some stuff on SCL, and we have a machinima coming up at the end of the show that I think you guys will enjoy. So make sure you come on into the Discord if you want to join on stream with us. Of course, this is our really fun, interactive show with the community. So make sure isn't there a Discord link, FC, somewhere floating around?
Should be. Yeah, should be on, what's I call it, in the, below us, in the link below us.
Yeah,
for
that's
FC, for Friday Night Live.
Make sure you jump in there so we can get going. FC, guess what?
What?
Did you hear the news from CIG today?
Today? I heard about it yesterday.
I heard about it today, so let's just say it's today. And plus it's Friday, so that's good news. Did you hear about what happened?
I heard about it.
CIG has partnered with Fire Sprite Games to produce Theaters of War. Fire Sprite Games, UK gaming studio, UK developer. And get this, FC, they have been contributing to the Theaters of War project since, wait for it, 2019, dude.
2019? You don't say.
2019, when everybody was fussing about, hey, how come we're Theaters of War? Theaters of War, where's Toe? Where's Theaters of War? Well, CIG, 6 steps ahead, and here we are. They announced today that Fire Sprite was working on the project with them. So, I don't know. What'd you think about the news out of the in the Star Citizen universe? What was your take on Fire Sprite?
I'm hoping that they won't be the next Ilphonics, because you remember how well that went.
I don't. So what's the pedigree for Fire Sprite? What's their? Because I don't know. Do you know?
Yes. No. Kimmy sent me a link. I didn't go into it, but we can look at their page, home and games, I guess.
Yeah.
I can tell you now. Cloud Imperium announced another developer has been developing. Blah 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 blah. They made PS4 pack in the Playroom as well as the sci-fi horror game The Persistence.
Okay. I guess they're new.
All award-winning games.
Award-winning game.
Okay. Well,
I don't play enough games.
Right. So they're going to be the ones, dude. They're helping out. I don't think anybody has talked. I mean, this is the first news at the end of the week, right? You know, these last couple of days. So, I don't know, FC. Are you brave enough to start tossing out some benchmarks or milestones for when we might see?
No.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough. I'm not brave enough.
Sometime before December 31st, 11:59 p.m.
Okay, yeah. I read that.
No, and Colossal said the PS4 mainly, so that's probably why I never heard of them, because I'm mostly a PC. Yeah.
Here's the thing though. Yeah, same here. And so my question is, like, I wonder what an opportunity like this for this developer to move over to console. What kind of benefit might they bring? From console to PC. What kind of benefit might they bring over? Is a good thought. I mean, they're award-winning games.
Well, I mean, if they do mostly FPS games, then I don't think it matters if it's between console or PC. But if they mostly do FPS, they'll bring a lot over.
Yep. I think it'll be a good. It'll be good. I want it to work, and I think, you know, we've talked about this before on other shows, that the more CIG grows up, the more they become well refined as a business, right? Like, everybody is looking at CIG like, oh, the developers, the Star Citizen, and I want the game. But you have to remember that CIG is actually an organization. It's a company. It has staff and other people who are not developers who work for it. So it's important to kind of still adhere to good business practice. And, you know, I don't know everything about their business practice. I wish I did. But I know that this is when you bring on partners and you've had a kind of a history with your partnerships in the past, you want to do it right. And I think you learn something from it. You should always learn something from your failed partnerships or endeavors. So here's the hoping that Fire Sprite will put it through and help us get There's a War on track, man. It's exciting news out of the UK.
Two things. One detriment I can see is that they're moving from a console, which is like static, to PC, which is like all over the place. So that may be a detriment. But also, on side note, CIG crossed over $250 million this week.
$250 million raised in the fiscal year? How did I miss this?
You want under a rock, maybe? No. It happened on Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday, one of the days. And so congrats to CID for making more money. More money,
hand over fist, buddy. That's how you do it.
And again, if anyone wants to come in and join it, the link is below us in Twitch. So come on in there. So what's next?
I have a trivia question.
All right, hit us.
FC said that they crossed the 350 million line. Does anyone know how much money they've made total?
Let me take a guess. So that's 350
with investors.
Yeah, it's 74 million, I think, is investors, or 73 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So did you add that to 350?
So as if you add up everything, they're making their way toward $500 million. So it'll be interesting to see if they
$500 million. Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, like in my head, I said 424 million. I had 424 million in my head. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yep. Then you come up with $500 million. I'm like, wow.
Next level with FC. Next level. That's next level, dude. That's a lot of money. See, but I'm still. I know I gripe on this, but I'm still interested in the bottom line, right? How much, like, how much are you spending each year?
You and half of us.
Yeah, like that's a great top line, right? But I want to know what's going on. Black Intellect says Bezos pocket change. That's right, man.
Bezos pocket change.
Bezos pocket change.
Yeah, pretty much.
He dropped that in. He dropped that on a trip into Austin, and they picked it up, and that's how it worked. So cool. Yeah. Anything else on the Fire Sprite deal? I thought that it was great news. Great news for CIG.
SCFC, it's all the same.
We have so many
games. No, I think it's interesting. Like I said, I didn't know about them because they're coming from console to PC. So hopefully we'll learn more as time goes by.
Yeah, for sure.
Question.
Yep.
Do you think that this is a foreshadowing of something going to console in time?
I thought about that.
No.
Now I will say this. Let me say this before the fire starts. Before the fire starts, we know that Star Citizen will not go to console, but
yeah, thank you.
Squadron 42. I'd love to see what you guys think in chat thinks about that.
That.
Okay, you guys chat. Didn't ask us. Oh, Colossal is like, no. No, for Squadron 42, I can see them starting up for PC and then maybe going to console in like a year or two after release, like 2-year anniversary.
But see, I wonder what it would do, or not what it would do, but how do you do that? Because it's so you have this aerial and this FPS component to it, right? So
I'm pretty sure they're working on it already. Like when they first started, like I remember not an Inside Star Citizen, but like around the verse or whatever like that. They said that they had the 3D, not 3D, virtual stuff going on. So I'm pretty sure, and had a PS4 console underneath that. So I'm pretty sure they already have the software for it to run, but they're not gonna release it until they're ready for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Tensurasawa threw a question at you. I don't know if you have time to answer it. It's just right after Colossal's no.
Hey, Colossal, what's up, man?
Hey, Colossal.
Hey guys, good evening.
Cicero Salas says, do you think CIG should be more transparent, less transparent, or about right with their finances? They should be more transparent. I've taken a look at it, and I have questions from a financial standpoint, right? Because I haven't seen their audit or a compilation or a qualified opinion on their statements, and I would love to see that. So that, and the thing is, like with private companies, you don't have to. You're not listed, so certainly you don't have to. But the benefit of being more transparent, I would argue that you could have been past that $500 million mark, right? If you are doing the same, if you're doing the same work, and you're being ethical, and you're delivering results, and you have the financial system or accounting practice to show and back up how you've been using backers' money, then it'll allow for more confidence, right? Now I know there is and I'm not saying throw out all your finances so your competitors are seeing and how much you're spending, what your R&D is like or whatever. But what I am saying is tell us where it's going, and in that way, I think you can instill a bit more confidence. And part of that, I believe, first thing is let's speed up the nature of the reporting. We're getting last year's financial results at the end of this year, So I would say they should be more transparent. Obviously, the more transparent you could be in finance, the better. Some people think it's not, but it actually is.
The only thing I would be more interested in is what the balance between how many people are concierge versus how many people are not concierge.
Oh yeah.
How many people are subscribers versus not, and how much money they pull in for subscribers.
For
we don't have any of those breakdown. But that's the only thing I personally would be interested in.
I totally agree because that's the performance of the company, right? Financial performance, and then kind of these performance KPI metrics, right? And when you put that together and you can pull an annual report, it just instills more confidence. Like you can tell the story without telling backers, yeah, just trust us. You know, like we got it. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing with your money, right? That's the last thing I want to hear. You know. Yeah. What's up, Kay? What you think, man?
Well, he's in here
good
talking about the console stuff. He ain't caring about no financials.
No, I'm not a numbers guy like you are on 10th. I mean, but in terms of, I was really interested with the fire sprite thing.
Yeah, man.
Because I first saw information about them just a couple of days ago. There was a gaming company, I think at Bethesda, put out something.
Just like on Microsoft now.
Right, and I think I saw Fire Sprite either around that time or some type of commercial. So that was just a day ago, 2 days ago, I believe. So
the Fire Sprite was yesterday.
Okay, right. So with that being the case, that's how I at least saw the name of that company. I did a little bit of research. I mean, it was interesting that Chris Roberts was one of the founders, and it's been around since 2012.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a technical director. At least that's from the Wikipedia stuff. I don't know how true that is, but based off of what I see so far, Chris Roberts is the technical director. Same as Sean Tracy, by the way, who Sean Tracy is in charge of Theater of War.
Yeah.
So how does Chris Roberts have time for all this stuff? He's doing Star Citizen and Squadron 42, and then he has this on the side. You tell me he's doing this on the side. When are you gonna make Star Citizen, man? Just make Star Citizen. No, I'm kidding.
Well, but the thing is, remember in 2019 when Sean Tracy put this out there, and he did say that he had a small group, and I don't know if he apologized for it being delayed, but he did talk about the reasons for it taking so long. And he said part of the reason was he had like basically a very, very small crew, and most of the people were working on Squadron 42, and whenever he can get that type of a help, he'll get it, and you'll be able to see more from that. So we saw a huge gap between that and when it was put out to Evocati, right? So now we get this announcement. So I don't know, 10th, if Fire Sprite has been around since 2019, because this just came out. I know Fire Sprite has been around since 2012.
The PC Gamer said that they've been working on Theaters of War since 2019.
Okay, so all right, so PC Gamers has that. Mm-hmm. So with that being the case, I mean, if I was looking at even the case numbers, and as far as how many employees they have, as far as what I see, 200 employees.
Mm. Wow. Okay.
200. And if Sean Tracy was saying that he didn't have a big team on it, but I see here that they could have possibly around 200 employees, it's interesting to see how far they've gotten now and why the delay, if that was going on, they've had that type of group. Go ahead, Griffin.
I want to jump in on something you said, Colossal, because Sky Edge says that they don't think that it's the same CR. So it'll be interesting for us to do some homework on that real quick to find out, unless you're being facetious, Sky Edge, but if you're being serious, we'll look into it. But here's something that both of you guys just said that just rang a bell. If Chris Roberts is involved, and if that company is a console company, we have never talked about what happens if Theaters of War is actually meant to be console and PC. That would explain a lot about delay if they're actually going to produce it as a console game. And it is pretty much if you think back to, what was the crazy game that Eve came out with? Guys, remember the game that they came out with? Just 514. Yeah. So imagine if Chris is trying to do the same thing but do it right, and he puts out a PC version and console version of it. That would be,
if he does it right, it'll never come out, right?
No, I mean if he does it right. I'm just saying if he does that, because if this is the same Chris Roberts, it makes sense that there's a connection between the companies.
Yes, it makes perfect sense if it's the same. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And thanks for the clarification, Griff. Maybe we can get clarification from CIG if Chris Roberts is, if our Chris Roberts, which is Chris Roberts, HardSpace Industries, is the one that's actually with them. But it's just interesting to see that name attached to it. Mm-hmm. And even if you go and select the name, it has his picture on it.
Yeah.
So so it's interesting if we can get clarification of that.
Yeah. And to Admiral Kusanagi's point, he's saying we don't want, and this is true, Admiral, we don't want people to think we're saying that company is solely working on Theaters of War. Most game companies are working on multiple projects at any given time. All we're saying is that there's an outside or third party company that is working alongside, as you mentioned, Colossal, with what is a small group of people at CIG, but maybe a bigger group of people that are able to work on it out of FireSprite. So we'll see.
Right, and the company works with, they've done Persistence VR, Persistence game, Air Force Special Ops. They have plenty of other games that they're working on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't, they're not just solely working on that, but it's interesting to see that announcement came out. And if that Chris Roberts is the Chris Roberts that we all know and love, then it's going to be interesting to see that connection, and interesting to see how this pursues with Theaters of War, because they got some interesting things going on with that.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
I just wanted to come in and say that. Good evening, guys. Have a good day. I'll stay around for a little bit.
No, thank you for the info, because like I said, I'm not a console guy, so I don't pay attention to that. All right, so you want to move on?
Yeah, let's do it. What we got going on here? ISC this week. You want to take that, FC?
Sure. This week is Inside Star Citizen weapons of choice. So I haven't had a chance to look at it, so this will be my first time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Punch it, Chewie.
So it might seem a little bit weird that we refer to these items as weapons. FPS weapons aren't always used to kill people. We just call them that internally as they go through the same pipeline, but there are so many other things that you can do with them. Say you might want to take down a target without actually killing them and restraining them instead and taking them in. Or you might want some form of gadget that picks things up, or you might want another that disables electricals, or you might want another that cuts, another that salvages, another that repairs. So there are many, many things that you can do with FPS weapons. So I've personally wanted to work on these non-lethal FPS weapons and tools for a long time. I've personally written a lot of the design documentation that goes alongside them for like a long time ago, so I've been dying for these things to come out, and I've seen a couple of them going through the concept phases, and I'm sat there itching, waiting for it to come in, and I'm looking at the roadmap myself. But ultimately, there's not much point in us putting these things out without the underlying systems being there. Now, all that said, teams have now started work on systems like medical, charge and drain, breaching, salvage. So now is a perfect time to start developing these weapons and tools to go alongside the systems. A change to the player health system is that over time, you may start to suffer long-lasting injuries if you've been seriously injured multiple times. And what the multi-tool healing tool allows you to do is not only heal someone just by firing at them over a short distance and applying healing gel, you will also get a UI readout that does notify you of any long-lasting injuries that might not be obvious that your target has sustained, and you can advise them or use multiple healing or drug pens to top them back up again.
You know, it's a modular piece, so how do you look at it and instantly recognize it as, okay, this is a medical attachment? So obviously you've got the essentially what looks like a sort of syringe, and then also you've got there's a canister on this that swaps out, and that also holds the sort of healing serum. So those are the two things that swap out on this.
So the multi-tool salvage attachment also has two functions. It has salvage and repair. Salvaging allows you to do what we call hull stripping, which is where you can walk up to a ship or vehicle and you can start stripping away the hull that then gets stored in a canister. And that could either be sold on or kept for repair. And what repair is essentially the reverse. If you look at your ship that's been damaged, you can apply what is in the canister, the material that you've gathered in the canister, to any damage that's been done to your ship or vehicle to repair it.
And the obvious visual thing with this is Nick delivered it in yellow originally, but we've pushed him to more the silvery blue. If you find one or you're in a shop, you're like, okay, that's what I need. Pick. There's no confusion.
So we are also working on the dedicated medical gun, and it essentially gives you all of the information that the multi-tool version provides. Does give you additional functionality like being able to apply specific drugs if you want to. Now that you've got the readout that lets you know what's wrong with someone, you'll be able to look at what you've got in there. You can kind of move the sliders around and apply them at different levels and different amounts of drugs and medicine to mask those issues, which is really going to contribute towards pushing that medical role in the PU.
It was the first one that we've done like this. Overall, like, I mean, I actually really like how this instrument turned out. It reads well, it feels high tech, and we've got some really good color options as well, so yeah, pretty cool. So the Grey Cat tractor beam, this was a real fun one.
It's much bigger than the multi-tool, it only does one thing.
So we had a lot of iterations, but where we ended up was really cool, and it was also gave us a really good chance of advancing the style of Grey Cat. So it's sort of an updated chassis. It's really pushing on those tool vibes, and it also, it also fits nicely onto the back of the player.
So it's graded for lifting much heavier objects. It's got a much bigger battery, so you'll be able to use it for longer. And we're exploring other options like it being able to push-pull faster and being able to grapple from a further distance away and grapple you faster as well. So another thing we've been developing is the Standalone cutting tool, which is the bigger, badder, better version of the multi-tool cutter.
Right away you can see that family DNA that's shared between the two. So this one kind of feels a slightly older generation.
It'll be able to cut through materials quicker, it'll be able to cut through denser material, and it will be able to essentially do it all faster with a bigger battery capacity so you can keep going for longer.
It's a mix of precision tech, because a lot of the stuff that these tools do is quite technical.
So when you're cutting out those big shapes on panels and everything, it'll be the tool that you want to use instead of the mini multi-tool itself. So the breaching charge is one of the first examples we've got of an FPS deployable.
So with this one, it remains quite small, but benefit is you can stick it onto a surface.
So you'll be able to take this out, put it down, it'll deploy on the surface, and the breaching charge is purely meant to bust through doors.
And it's pulling on some of the bearing styling that we did for things like the grenade, and some of the more recent weapons, maybe like the LMG, so we're getting more of that polymer. Yeah, it's just always sort of maintaining that balance of polymer versus metal versus how many bolts. Again, keep that family DNA.
So something that doesn't necessarily link in, but I am very excited to talk about, is the Utaflex Crossbow.
The Utaflex Crossbow probably is one of my favourite weapons in a long time, actually.
It's very different to any weapon that we've ever done before.
And also it's essentially a new company.
It's going to be our best stealth weapon available. So while the radar and scanning systems pick up on IR, EM, and audio as well, this thing will essentially fly under the radar and all of those. So it's your weapon that you will be using if you want to stay stealthy. And it just looks so cool.
This design, I really love it, and the fact that Nick has been able to figure out how to get all the functionality that's required by design. The key beads, the reloading, it's a cartridge. The arrow has to expand once it's loaded. It has to compress to a certain size in terms of the overall length of the weapon. It's got to look badass, and I would say, call me crazy, I think we've nailed it on this. I think the art team did a really awesome job of building it as well.
So those are just a few of the FPS weapons and tools that we've been working on. We are so excited to be working on them now and developing these systems. So I'm sure you'll hear more about how these systems work in the future, and we can't wait to get them in your hands and have you playing with them.
As Star Citizen's development pushes into exciting new gameplay aspects like medical, breaching, salvage, shooting people with crossbows, it's exciting to see the weapons content team get to stretch their proverbial legs like this.
Really, Jared? Proverbial legs? Really? No. So what do you guys think?
This is a good up. There's a lot of weapons here. Holy smokes, there's a lot of stuff going on. But what's up, Fist to Face?
Hey, Fist to Face.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What you think about this ISC, bro?
Oh, sorry about that. I thought you guys want to talk a little bit more about it.
Oh, no, man. No.
Okay.
Like, give us your thoughts, dude.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just woke up, set the alarm, didn't go off. Long day today.
I know what that's like.
Long day today, but yeah. This ISC was I actually like it. I'm looking forward to the medical play. Now, the thing that I did, excuse me, fix this microphone here. Here we go. A thing I did like about it was the point of fact that they said that you can shoot darts. Sounds like you could shoot medical darts or something into a person. So it sounds like a FPS medical play or something like that. Like, you know, okay, my person's down from across the room. Hey, let me just, there you go. You know, like, okay, this is interesting. I was like,
are you a medical career? Like, are you? That's what you're aiming for in the verse?
No, actually, my main profession would be mining.
Okay.
So, as far as, man, I mean, don't get me wrong. I will, you know, definitely, I'm interested in all things within the universe, but I mean, that's not going to be my main thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed with this medical with the medical gear. We're seeing some on the screen right now. It actually looks really impressive. Like the design is what gets me about the deal. I'm with Fist Face. Like I'll try the medical piece. Like I think everybody's going to try something, right? But
I mean, you're creating something for yourself anyway. So
right. Yeah. What are you going to say, FC?
Oh, what I look at the breaching charge, the bearing breaching charge.
Oh,
and I think and I think we've seen that on an ISC before, maybe like a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So that'd be interesting.
Hey, I'm not Houdini. You can't be jumping across like that. You threw me off.
No. Well, okay. So we want to go back to the tractor beam then?
No. I mean, well, yeah. Let me do it in order because it's easier. Sorry.
The tractor beam first. What do you think of the tractor beam? I thought it was okay. I mean, I'm looking forward to the tractor beam to get on the 315p and the salvage and the salvage ship. So that'll be gameplay for that designed for that. So I'm not sure why they're working on the handheld version first as opposed to the big version, but maybe it's easy for them. We'll see.
Maybe the design, right? Like they kind of step up to the big tractor beam. I mean, because this thing, they have the handheld, like kind of mini one, or a smaller one than this with less power, and then this thing looks like it could be mistaken for a what's the shotgun? If from far away you could think this thing was a rail gun or a shotgun or something like that. So. I want to see the profile in the back, but of course, like this thing gives a vibe of like this is heavy duty, and so I think they'll take that design kind of language or aesthetic and then apply it towards maybe making the bigger one.
The fact that it's yellow let me know that it's not really a weapon and more industrial. So I like the color scheme on it. But yeah, if it's dark, then you can't really tell.
Do you think? What's that?
When I first saw it, it made me think. Kind of threw me off for a minute though, because the animation of it, I didn't realize it had an animation. I was like looking at it.
They all do. Most of them do.
Yeah, but the big one that's on the screen right now from it looked like a I don't know what game, I forget what it was. It looked like a gun that shoots saws. I forget what game that's in.
Okay.
And for a minute, I was like, well, it kind of threw me off. Yeah, from Half-Life. That's right, Pops. Yeah, Half-Life. That there's like a gun that threw saws at other people. Like, then I saw the animation of it coming from the side and then going to the front. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I was like,
yeah.
All right.
I mean, I suppose it makes it more portable. But my question is, like, when you have all those moving pieces, that just makes it more prone to break or malfunction or something like that. But that's just how I see things.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, what about this cutter, guys? What did you guys think about that cutter? I think that Now I wondered, because here's the deal. Like, we talked about the breaching charge. And I think they showed it after the cutter. But the first thing I thought when I saw the cutter was, oh, this is about to open up breaching gameplay, right? Like, and of course you would use it for more than just breaching, but you know, depending on how it's sold in the verse, like somebody might take a cutter versus a breach charge, you know, or vice versa. So that's what I thought about. But you know, maybe the power is not there, or who knows. But I think I like how Grey Cat, you're seeing more out of Grey Cat, not in terms of vehicles, but in terms of utilities, right? Like handheld utilities, which I think is pretty cool. So I was glad they kind of put Grey Cat as this cutter. What'd you guys think?
Mr. Face?
The cutter?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have. I mean, for me, I don't know if I personally would have a use for it. As far as my style play, I mean, because it sounds like the cutter tool would be, well, I guess it's for salvage would be cool. But as far as like a breaching thing, I don't think I would be. That's not really my thing as far as like breaching something. You know, but
I mean, why cut slow when you can blow stuff up quickly?
Exactly. You know, exactly. That would be my approach. But you know,
I can tell you why you cut slow. I can tell you why you cut slow. You cut slow when you want anybody to hear you coming.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking you cut slow when you want to preserve what's inside rather than breach something and might destroy something on the other side.
Too. Good point. But see, but that's also at the same time too. I'm more of a person. I'm not really going to be concerned about it as far as, you know, me doing it, you know, because the only thing I would do with it was to salvage if I was trying to get in to get something. It's like a derelict ship or something like that, or it's been a war and between two orgs and now I'm going in to go grab some components or something. I'm not really into the piracy gameplay of Star Citizen, but I would like to know how the way it operates, so the way that I can be prepared for it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I think that's smart.
That's my whole thing about those things.
Admiral Kusanagi says, "I'm not sure is what happens to weight. Does it allow you to pick up a torpedo, the cutter? I see some pretty cut up ships. If you go at it alone, come out to your ship and it's missing the landing gear. Put your ship on bricks, huh? They stand your ship up.
Put your ship on blocks.
Oh my, cinder blocks. Oh wow. Oof.
Oh, that's tough, man. Stay away from the south side of the verse. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't worry about boots. You want to worry about blocks. You got to take everything away.
What was that on? I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh man, I haven't seen that in ages.
That's cool, man. Oh snap. Yeah, boys. There's a charge. You know what? The charge, I wonder if they would, and you're kind of looking at some of the pieces here on the screen right now. I wonder if they would come like in those different sizes, right? Like for, you know, if you I think
they like this concept. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I would look for if I was like going to enter into this gameplay? I would think of having to have like maybe smaller charges. Medium charges, large charges, so that you can, you know, get into smaller places with less of a charge or less of a bang. Yeah, you know. So, but you know, yet to be determined. But you know, they look okay. I mean, they look like space breaches. But
so what does the space breach really look like?
Yeah, I know. What's it supposed to look like? I don't know.
Mr. Face, you want to say something?
No, I didn't say anything. Was you want me to say? I'm sorry. No, but
No, go ahead.
Like I said again, I mean, as far as breaching charges, I mean, like I said, I would like to know how the way they work. You know, what can they breach through? You know, what like you know, as far as
I'm pretty. Like a different size can probably breach through different stuff. Like a smaller can breach through an Aurora, and a bigger one can breach through a Drisser maybe.
Sure.
Right. That's what I mean as far as like what what like what kind of hulls, the thickness of the hulls. Like each one has I guess I don't know what you call them as far as.
And thanks for the subscription.
The size of the charge or something like that. Yep. So that's me. Like I said again, it's just I would try to understand how the way these things will work.
GoMap says the origin shaped charge looks nice, but only explodes into a rain of glitter. That would be kind of amazing, and it should pop out a little sign like, "What are you doing out here? Get back to your ship. You don't need to do this. Go home."
Pop out a sign that says "Bang."
Pop had a good one. He said, could you use these charges in mining?
Ooh, yeah, okay. I can see it like controlled detonations, right?
I mean, you could probably use any of them, like the FPS cutter too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like you think about it. You something like I like creatively thinking. Okay, you have a big asteroid or something like that, and maybe your detonation, maybe your charges that you have from the Orion can't breach through it. So hey, you may want to give it an extra punch, or something like that.
Or you have an asteroid that you're trying to deflect from a planet, and you land a team of miners on it. No, that
okay. Wait a minute. Are you talking about what was that? Armageddon?
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny.
And finally, last but not least, we have the Utaflex Crossbow, and this has piqued my interest. Like, we have a few crossbows coming up in this game. We have one from the SOA game from Gilmont, and this one, as far as I can remember. We may have another one that I'm not familiar with, but yeah, what do you guys think of this crossbow?
It's slick, bro. It's slick. I gotta get my hands on that one. Now, what's interesting about the crossbow here is I was surprised on its profile. It seemed to be very compact, and so I could definitely see it. Like, that which was seen on the screen with the avatar there. That's small. That looks small to me. Not super small, but certainly not like it's something that you could easily carry, and it's very lightweight. And I can imagine the stealth operator would use as part of a very stealth centered loadout, so that they are less weight, less they're bypassing radar, and you got to stay lean. And so I thought this is a really cool design, and I'm interested in playing with that.
I have never been told it, but I heard it from other guys who had been told that the size doesn't matter, it's how you use it.
What?
I've never been told that personally.
Who said that?
No, but I was wondering what the difference between this crossbow and the other one from I can't remember the game. I keep on saying SOA, but I forget what it stands to. But the crossbow. So I think the other crossbow. I want to see them side by side, but I think the other crossbow looks cooler. But this one looks cool too.
Shroud of the Avatar is the swap
Shroud of the Avatar. Thank you.
Yeah, and Jade asked the question as to when they did the program for this, or the promotion for this. If you bought Shroud of the Avatar, you got one of these crossbows, and if you got into Star Citizen, they gave them it was some type of weapon they gave them. Do you remember what it was, Fastcart?
I don't remember.
Yeah, the people in Shroud of Avatar the people in Shroud of Avatar did get something, Jade. I don't remember. If anybody else remembers what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. It was a cross promotion between the two games. I forgot what Shroud of the Avatar players got. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't into the game, so.
And I want to say this. We called it on this show when the crossbow first came out. People kept saying, "Oh, why would anybody want to have a crossbow?" And we said that there were going to be reasons to have one. So kudos to our folks who called this out as saying this would be a very cool weapon to have.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. I will be getting one. I want to know what kind of.
Yeah, I'll be getting one or the other. I'm not sure which. I'm not gonna get both, but I mean, depends on what their uses are.
I want to know what kind of ammo can you get with it. Can it be poison arrows? Will it be what is that? Explosive arrows? Different types of steel tip arrows. Will it be able to pierce certain types of armor?
All I
things
know
like
is that the origin crossbow was shoot glitter. You've already established that.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Oh,
This would be
man.
cool though too. This could actually, I just thought of something. It could actually be good gameplay. I mean, I know it would be good gameplay with bounty hunting as far as silently killing someone, but as far as tracking somebody, because you could put a tracker to an arrow.
Yeah, you can do
somebody's
that.
ship.
Shady Face
Or
says,
you can put like a blunt tip on them and try to knock people out instead of like killing them.
Shady Face
That
says,
too.
gives some suggestions of targeting bolts, explosive bolts, EMP
Right.
bolts. So a lot of variety that can come from it. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so I think that's it for.
Was that
We have more, don't we?
Yeah, we've got
Are there more?
the second half is coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here.
Friendly space potato or rocky, dangerous adversary? The Planet Content team has created a new pipeline for better looking and more varied asteroids, and they're coming your way in the upcoming Alpha 313.
Rocks are boring, but you still need them for the big picture, and if they don't look good, then the big picture will suffer from it. I do have a knack for finding solutions to problems, not necessarily only the ones that are very difficult to find, but also for things that are just like inconvenient. The main reason why we needed new asteroids was that the old ones were using and relying on old tech. Based on that, we wanted to update the process and the assets. As the Star Citizen universe keeps on expanding, there is a need for more variety for asteroids, and that's why we built that new pipeline to allow us to iterate and create more variation much more quickly than before, and with a better quality as well. For that new asteroid workflow, we've moved it all into Houdini, so we generate the high poly version of the asteroid in Houdini, which then gets broken down into a lower resolution version, which gets its unwrap, so you can actually map a texture to it. Then we generate the masks in Houdini as well for our shader in the engine. Then we bake all the information from the high poly onto the low poly, export it out to the engine, and then we set it up there with the shader in the engine, with the tiling textures and the colors and all that stuff. With the new process, the final resulting asteroids become more consistent within a set of asteroids. So you get like a more consistent texel density and detail. It also uses the new organic shader, which has displacement and tessellation compared to POM, and just the overall quality of the visuals will be improved. We are building a space game after all, so I think asteroids are a vital part of that. Getting that experience that you always had when you watched those Star Wars movies as a kid, where they were hiding behind an asteroid and then someone came by and then you could ambush them and then play hide and seek around the asteroids. And with the new asteroids there are a lot more nooks and crannies, if you will, where the player can hide. Those are the asteroids that are coming to the Lagrange points in 313, and they might seem like a small thing, but this is Star Citizen, and the details matter.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that new non-lethal FPS weapons with med beams, tractor beams, cutting beams, and salvage beams are the harbingers of new gameplay opportunities in Star Citizen's future. That the Utaflex Crossbow is Star Citizen's new silent killer. Take that, elevators. That I don't care what it's supposed to be used for, I'm going to use that cutting beam in one-on-one combat because it just looks too darn cool. And that asteroids may seem like a small, tiny thing, but it's the sum total of those small, tiny things that make up for a truly immersive experience that we're all working towards. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
All right, that elevator joke really got me. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the title of this one was progressive rock. I'm interested in like more metal, like grindcore, or that kind of screamer. But asteroids, what do you guys think?
yeah, man, great work on the asteroids. I mean, the thing here is that I appreciate what the gentleman said was did details matter in Star Citizen, which I think is true. It's always a balancing game, right? But you for sure, have people who care about the work that they're doing. So if you gotta make another pass over the asteroids, I'd ask, is it critical for release? And I have some opinions on that, but the to do it now just means you're not doing it later, I guess. So
well, you can't have 2014 looking asteroids and a 2021 looking.
It's true story, actually.
I understand what you're saying too, but I'm not trying to play the drinking game here, but fidelity matters, right?
Fidelity. Oh man.
Right.
Not even ready. Yeah, that's my thought.
What do you think?
Well, this is right up my alley again. Mining. So, besides mining, yeah, as far as like bounty hunting, dog fighting, hiding behind asteroids, I would like to go back to what you made a joke earlier about being able to land on an asteroid. Be able to walk around. Is there going to be that type of gameplay as well in there? Will you meet some creatures on there? I don't know. Things like that nature. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see what they're doing with the game. For me, when I see them doing passes and things like that, there's like I said again, there's a level of care about the game that makes me that keeps me interested in it. So that's how I think about it.
Yeah. That's good. I think it'll.
I want to jump in if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
Regarding the asteroids, I'm gonna tell you, it's a catch-22, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have heard people throw out the concern of how will CIG keep the game looking current so that it doesn't look old when it comes out.
Exactly.
And that's the first thing people will say if we decide not to do this type of stuff. The other thing is that they said they're doing it because they're moving from the old tech to the new tech. So that forces the hand that they can't leave the old stuff in the game as they start moving toward the new architecture that they're going into. So they have to at some point address it. So I think it's kind of a combination of how do they stay relevant. Many people will tell you that when we came into 3.13, we saw a tremendous difference in the graphics and how things look even better. There's this constant improving. So, in the SCL that came up today, and I know we're going to get into that, but someone made a comment. We're not going to hear it, but Jarrett responded to it. Someone said, "See, why are they wasting their time doing this instead of developing the game?" And Jarrett very nicely explained that these guys don't work on that. The person said, "How come they're working on iCache?" And these guys are like, "We're freaking artists. You don't want us working on iCache, So people keep thinking about CIG from a monolithic standpoint that everybody that works for CIG is developing. That is as a developer. That is not the case. There are people who are artists. There are concept people. There are illustrators. There are engineers, producers. There's all these different people with different categories, and there's not 300 of any of those categories. Those groups are broken into anything from groups of 2 or 4 up to maybe 15 at the most. So, just kind of understand that, when you see something that comes up that seems irrelevant, it's not irrelevant. Trust me, because if you leave it behind, when you get to something that you really want to do and that old tech is there or the old stuff is there, then you're going to feel it and the bugs will come out. So this is just kind of the stuff that has to happen as a part of the developing process.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention, I wanted to point it out before, but it slipped my mind, is that they had 200 people in Firesprite, right? And how many people did GID had before? It was like 600, right? Or 630?
600.
It's over 500 now.
It's over 600.
So they have like 800 total now working on these 2 projects.
Well, you haven't even counted the people in Canada. You forgot about the new folks.
Yeah.
There's another 200 there.
Kind of like I was talking to you, Griff, earlier. Like, I work in audio, so it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can understand I don't have that much. I don't have criticism towards the game because I understand the process of, different teams working on different things in, a company like this. Whereas in audio, you have 3 separate industries. You have your recording or engineer, you have your mixing engineer, and you have your mastering engineer. A lot of people would think, if they don't understand that audio process, they would think, well, okay, one person does everything, which is true. You can. Don't get me wrong. One person does, but each stage of that whole process, you need to know and understand from a recording engineer's point of view. He needs to know how close a microphone is going to be to an amp, how close that microphone is going to be to a singer, because of how the way that's going to affect the sound of that singer and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Surasawa, thank you, and Jaja, thank you. Believe me, it's not me. I'm just repeating good stuff that I've heard. And everybody understands the frustration, because we all are anticipating and looking forward to a really, really good game. And it's very hard sometimes to hold back the desire to want to play the game. But I know my desire for it being done right exceeds when it's done wrong, because we've seen the anthems and the Fallout 76s and a whole lot of other stuff that came out too early, and they have come and gone. They have come and gone, and I just don't want to see that happen with this game. I've invested too much time, too much resources to see this game come and go. I want this game to be around, just like Eve, just like World of Warcraft, and a lot of other games that have existed and been there for a while. So, yeah, Destiny, yeah, Remar, yeah, that's another one. Boy.
I mean, imagine Star Citizen or Squadron 43 coming out after all this time, and it's not, all it can be. If it's like too buggy to even play, and imagine the blowback. And because games when they release, they only get one. They technically get reviewed over the year, but technically only the first review really matters. So you want to get that first impression as great as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot to it. You're right. Okay, you guys can change up when you're ready. We're gonna do the quick brief one on SCL.
All right.
I thought we already did.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Star Citizen Live Game Dev. I think it's our first Game Dev episode of the year, actually. I'm your host, Garrett Huckabee, and we are joined by members of our weapon content team today to explore a little bit about their process. Now, if you've never seen Star Citizen Live Game...
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just tell them what the deal is. Guys, tonight, we're not going to cover SCL. I kind of decided not to. For those of you who watched it already, you guys know that this one is really a sleeper. And what they did on this particular episode was basically work on a weapon site and show us how they created from the beginning of concept to going out and testing it, and then finally putting it in a polishing mode. And so what you see on the screen right now is just kind of a quick speed up version of what they showed today. As they built the site, they ended up taking it out to a firing range. They fired it off a few times. And then after they got through doing that, they brought it back in, and they put, as you see on the screen in a second, you'll see they put the logo on for the manufacturer. And then after that, they went to a polishing stage on it. And they just talked about, even the little intricacies and details of putting something like this together. Yes, Admiral, it was a sleeper. So
I did not watch it.
Yeah. So if you guys want to watch it, that's fine. But we have been getting a lot of requests, and I thank you for saying that, Jade. Yeah. 3D artists would love it. If you're into the art thing, you'll enjoy it. But tonight it's late. What we thought about doing is doing a different thing tonight with the machinima. So why don't you guys fill them in on the machinima, and I'll get it ready. Okay.
Sure. So we got this machinima coming. I think it's 6 episodes from. Remind me the series FC, but the first
Gemini Everlasting.
No, my fault,
that's the
guys.
First episode.
That's my mistake. I didn't change the name of it. Please forgive me. I was rushing. It's called HardSpace.
HardSpace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that one. You were talking. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we've had a lot of requests for this one. We watched the first episode a year ago and never did come back to it. So we want to encourage you guys, if you've never seen it, if you have, you'll love watching it again. Get yourself a drink, some popcorn, because we're going to sit through this.
Yeah, get something.
This is about a good 40 minutes, but I guarantee you guys will enjoy it. So, you guys all set?
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go take Griff up on that offer real quick. I'll be right back. Start the show, guys.
You are right. We'll get some Jello.
All right, we'll wait till you guys come back. We'll wait till you guys come back.
I prepared before the show.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes before we get started.
This should be interesting. I remember seeing. I think I saw a few episodes. It's been a long time, so it'll be good for me to go back to it. Have you seen any of it face to face?
I think he went too. I think he went to go get something too.
No, you went too.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I was getting ready to. I took my headphones on, and my dad said, "He's talking to me." What'd you say there, Fastcart?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. No, have you seen any of HardSpace before?
You know, I started to watch one episode when Griff told me about it. There was a few Friday nights back. I saw a little bit of it because it interested me, and because he said that there were some professional voice actors on there, so I would like to see how well he did and everything. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole video.
Okay, so go ahead and get your drink. I didn't mean to pull you back. I didn't hear that you were saying you were going to go. So go ahead and get it.
No. Sorry, thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. So yeah, this should be interesting. I did see, like I said, I saw one episode. I've been meaning to see more.
Yeah, this one, someone asked, I think Fist was saying was this one with the professional voice actors, and now he's thinking about, someone mentioned it here, that was Letters from Vega that did that one. This one is a different show. I said this is one, I think what my comment about this one is that this was probably one of the best series that I've seen made for Star Citizen, and I think this very first episode, and Fastcart, maybe you can verify this for me. I want to say the first episode, matter of fact, I can tell you what it is. First episode came out in 2018. Or 2016.
Really?
2016.
Oh, I'm going to say.
I'm sorry,
2018 seems recent.
My bad reading. And what they did was, as each episode came out each year, you could see how the tech and the animations got better and better. So by the time we get to episode 6, you'll see a very significant difference in the animations from the very first show that we're going to watch. But the shows are written very well, very interesting storyline that goes from chapter to chapter. So bear with it. At first, it's going to seem like, what the heck are they talking about? But you'll see it all kind of comes together toward the end. So 10th, you're all set?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Fist, you all set? I think Fist is still getting his drink. We're going to give him a couple more seconds.
He probably turned the speakers on, so he can probably start. He can probably hear it.
I know Pops is over there listening, but we'll give him a second here. He works on the cinematics team now, did some of the commercials. Wow, okay, cool. I guess that's for Letters of Vega. I see what you're saying, Jade. Very cool.
And yeah, like it's amazing how people cross over from fan to becoming a CIG developer. It kind of started with the whole what is it called? My Next Great Starship, or The Next Great Starship. And then from then on, they brought on Jared. Jared was a fan. He was working on the Disco Lando stuff, and he came over to CIG. So
just for playing with a doll, pretty good, huh? Not a bad way to get a job. For those of you who don't remember that back in the day, if you don't remember that back in the day, Lando had a doll of Lando Calrissian that he used to do stop motion animation with, and that was one of the things that got the attention of the community, was him doing these crazy videos.
That was like 2015.
Yeah, so that was what got him there. Fist, you back? All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there
I have my Jello ready.
All right, we're going to get it rolling here. You guys sit back and enjoy. We're going to let it run through each episode. We're not going to stop, and we'll get your comments at the very end, okay?
Okay.
There's an abandoned shuttle orbiting Crusader, which I believe has the information.
Well, I guess it would help if I started the video. If I switched over to the video, sorry.
There's an abandoned shuttle orbiting Crusader, which I believe has the information you require, Captain. Be careful, Captain.
I'm not trying to mess with the graphics. Could you full screen it?
If I full screen it, I can't see you guys.
Okay.
But I can do something. Hang on.
Okay, that looks like our ship. Bring us in, Carl. Captain, another ship has just jumped in. Ugh, here we go. Captain, the ship has opened a comms channel. Open the channel. G'day there, pilot. Look, I'm just going to assume that you jumped into this area of space completely by accident without really understanding who it belongs to. Now, I suggest that you take that rust bucket of yours and head back to Olisar. Otherwise, things aren't going to work out too well for you. Comprende? Carl, what is the one thing that I hate more than anything? Being patronized, Captain. Let's see if this guy's got a sense of humor. Oh, I'm terribly sorry there, sir. You're absolutely right. I seem to have jumped into the wrong area of space completely. I was actually looking for your mother, but there doesn't seem to be any Van Doel in sight around here. I guess you didn't see the funny side. Who the bloody hell is this guy? Analyze his hull for weakness. Weakness found. Fire. Firing. Oh, good night. No. Oh man, what are the chances? 3.67 million to 1, Captain. Tell me something I don't know. I need you to catch that shuttle and match its velocity. Velocity matched. 17,683 kilometers per hour, Captain. Okay, now I need you to decouple and flip 180. Yes, Captain. Now open the cargo bay door. On my mark, I'll need a dead stop. This is suicide, Captain. We're too close to Crusader's atmosphere. I won't be able to retrieve you. This information's important, Carl. 3, 2, 1. Mark. Godspeed, Captain. You just crossed the planet's common line, Captain. Yeah, I can feel that. It's getting a bit toasty down here. Permanent systems. I can't control. Easy does it. Ah, we've got control. Woo! Captain, I've established a link. Uploading data. Come on, let's get back to G-Look. I'm buying you a drink. You know fine well I'm a computer, Captain. I can't drink. Well, that's just downright unlucky for you then, isn't it? I believe it is, Captain. exactly are you getting me involved with here?
We need you to visit the facility and find out what happened to that show's consignment.
And why is ArmCorp so interested?
I can't say, but we believe the facility to be under surveillance, Captain. Be careful.
Captain, I'm getting an unusual reading near the station. What kind of unusual reading would that be, Carl? It's gone, Captain. Oh, well, that's always a good sign. Alright, Carl, take a line high over the port side of the station and shut down the engine. Station may have eyes on it too, so maintain your distance. Yes, Captain. We need to be very stealthy here, so keep the signal bomb. Don't go too far. Yes, Captain. Alright, here we go. Oof, nothing like a nice morning EVA. Okay, I'm coming up to the breach. Captain, I've located the station console on the second deck. There's a door ahead which should lead straight to it. Doesn't open from this side. I'll need a key. Well, at least we've got plenty of time, eh, Carl? There are 2 lift shafts in the facility which may provide access between floors, Captain. Carl, do you ever get the feeling you're being watched? All the time, Captain. Well, thanks. That's reassuring. Alright, I'm up a lift shaft. You know, it seems a little bit convenient to me that those data pods floating around everywhere here. Probably full of evidence too. Perhaps they have valuable information, Captain. Oh, well, we already know that story, Carl. Every PI in the system's been through here. We're only getting paid for the one thing, and that's to find that shuttle cargo. And it just so happens that our enforcer friend, well, he seems to believe that it may also be tied to the fate of the station too. The odds of that are highly unlikely, Captain. Would you like to know them? No, not really. Captain, a large contact is approaching your position. Carl, is this a joke? No, Captain. So just remember how inappropriate your last attempt at humor was? It's not humor, Captain. Okay, do we have an ETA? The ship is jamming its signal. I'd have to provide an estimate. Estimate will be fine. 2 minutes and 28.13 seconds, Captain. Great. There's only one way in and out of here, so I need to be off this station by the time that ship arrives. The console should be on the floor below you, Captain. And there she is. Okay, Carl, can you get me a generic hack for Kovalex systems? On its way, Captain. Oh, come on. Let's see. Counting, picking, reporting, tracking. Okay. So it looks like there wasn't much of value in the station hold at the time of the incident. Mostly medical supplies from what I can see. And there's a shuttle. That's interesting. So just after it dropped its cargo here, the station received a UEE bulletin flagging the vessel as being stolen in the Hadrian system. A few days earlier, Hadrian, that's strange. It makes sense though, the guy would have dropped the cargo here, probably done a runner and abandoned it nearby Crusader, which is when we found it. What about the cargo?
Captain, the ship is closing on the station.
Yeah, I can feel it. Okay, the cargo here is under sanction pending inspection. Okay, we shall be in the lockup. From what I can see here, it looks like the warehouse has been looted clean. And someone's used cutting tools on the lockup too. I'm guessing that cargo never got inspected.
It's pulling up to the breach, Captain.
Okay, time to leave. Oh, here was me expecting somebody friendly. I've got a feeling that they've been here before. Carl, you said that you can't track the ship, but you can track me, right?
Not whilst you're aboard it, Captain.
I'm gonna get off.
As long as you're in the same system, Captain. I'll find you.
Okay, I'm boarding it. As long as they don't get shot first. They're coming in.
Be careful, Captain. Well, it's official. You set the timer, but you didn't activate the charge.
I never thought that, wow, really?
Kid, do you have any idea how much of an ordeal it is to return to the scene of a demolition? The Admiral's very upset. You're on thin ice.
I'm sorry, Steve. I never used size 5 charges before.
Alright, save it for the Admiral, kid. It's been a long week. I've reset the charge. Let's just go. Yeah.
All I'm saying, Steve, is there's very few ladies in the whole system. I mean, last year, I spent 2 whole weeks on Hardcore. The whole time that I was there, I didn't see a single lady. Huh?
Don't you bloody move. Ah, here we go.
That's the big room I was talking about.
Hanging there, Tim.
I'm trying. Gotta speed it up, man. Let's get to the good stuff.
Hello there, old friend. Welcome back, Captain. It's good to see you. Carl, what are you doing? Happy birthday, Captain. How did you know my birthday? Carbon analysis, Captain. Well, maybe we could get you a mining laser and go prospecting like all those other mugs out there. That's not what I meant, Captain. Captain? Yes, Carl? I believe it may not be healthy for you to be spending so much time alone out here. Carl, do you know what I hate more than anything? No, Captain. It's being patronized, especially by know-it-all computers. Understood, Captain. Now, all being well, this mod should help us get through some of those UEE scans a lot easier.
Revgen system failure.
Carl! GrabGen Diagnostic, does that ring a bell?
No, Captain.
Oh, well, it should do, because I asked you to do it last week.
No, Captain, you specifically...
Do you know what? Don't worry about it, because we've lost redundancy on the whole system, and now I've got to go and dust off my Mac boots.
Carl, you know, I'm sorry that I've been flying off the handle recently. I think you're right, I'm starting to get cabin fever spending so much time alone out here. I understand, Captain. You're a good friend, Carl. Likewise, Captain.
One message.
Captain, your old friend Harry is here. I know it's been a while, but I need your help. Give me a call as soon as possible.
Oh, Darius, it's been a while.
Indeed, Captain. Thanks for getting back to me. I have some work here in Stanton if you're interested.
Okay, what kind of work?
I can't say much right now, Captain, but it's a lot of credits. It requires discretion, which is why I thought of you.
Hey, Carl. Pack your bags. We got ourselves a client.
I have no bags, Captain.
It's a figure of speech. I know Stanton's not your favourite system, Carl, but this should only take a couple of days, and, well, we can take it from there.
What are we waiting for, Captain?
Oh, let's go.
Flight suit, Captain.
Carl, you're going to make someone a wonderful wife one day, you know that?
I was thinking maybe we could get you some new paintwork too, like bright pink star kitten. Do you fancy that? I don't find that humorous, Captain. Alright, Carl, almost to Stanton. Yes, Captain.
I see you, Kuno. I'll bring it down.
I need you to catch that shuttle and match its velocity.
What exactly are you getting me involved with here?
We need you to visit the facility and find out what happened to that shuttle's consignment.
Okay, the cargo here it is. Under sanction pending inspection. Okay, we shall be in the lockup. Carl, you said that you can't track the ship, but you can track me, right?
Not whilst you're aboard it, Captain.
I'm gonna get off.
As long as you're in the same system, Captain. I'll find you.
Okay, I'm boarding it.
Be careful, Captain.
Don't you bloody move.
Ah, here we go.
The volume of a gas that dissolves in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of said gas.
You're talking about decompression sickness.
That's correct. One of the very many scientific principles you may or may not get to experience firsthand through the course of this session. Of course, all this will depend on your answers to my questions. Anyway, I've been quite rude going straight into that, so let me introduce myself. My name is Admiral William Henry.
That armor, man.
Yeah, I've heard of you.
Oh, yeah.
All bad, I hope.
If you mean bad by killing innocent women and children, then yeah.
Now that is a very unfortunate part of my reputation. You see, I never set out to kill women or children who fetch the highest prices at market, you see. But of course, accidents do happen now and again. Now I've been so kind to introduce myself.
You can call me the Captain.
No, I'm not calling you that. I think I'll call you my little pet stowaway. You like that name?
Well, I tend not to argue with people who buy their space helmets from Dumper's Depot, you know.
Oh, well, lads, it looks like we got ourselves a smart ass. Oh, I do like a good smart ass. It makes it so much more satisfying when I see you choking on your own lungs. Well, anyway, I'm sure you know how this works. I ask you a question, you answer it. If I don't like said answer, my colleague here will activate the lock, and you will get to experience the delights of the great vacuum. So, first question. Where are my ships?
I have no idea. On your landing pads, maybe.
Oh, that is a bad answer.
Okay, whoa, hang on a second.
Right, I'll ask again. What do you know about my missing ships?
I'm afraid I don't know anything about your missing ships, Admiral. Oh, hang on a second. You didn't have a couple of skull missing off the Crusader, did you?
No. I've had 6 of my fleet mysteriously vanish in the last few days. So I'm sure you can imagine under those circumstances how suspicious I might be to find a stowaway aboard my ship. Which brings me to my next question.
Which is?
Who are you? What were you doing at Corvalex? And why the flaming ruddy aura were you snooping about my vessel?
Okay, alright. I was hired to track down some cargo. Its last known location was Gundo, just before the incident there. I was investigating when you arrived. I figured you may have looted it, so I came aboard to see if that was the case.
And what exactly is this precious cargo you would so recklessly endanger your own life for?
I don't know.
Oh, that's another terrible answer.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, I bet that cost you a few fingers and toes. You alright?
I'm not sure.
Well, you actually did quite well there. That was 17 seconds. Record so far is 27. You were quite mangled by the end of it, though. I do have to admit it's not the most efficient torture method, but look half the time whether people die or not. So of course it's in both of our best interests if you were to answer truthfully the first time. So I'll ask that question a second time. What were you looking for?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me, and it's not my job to ask questions. All I know is that it would have been 6 units of cargo, which was under sanction in the lockup at Gundo.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. You're talking about the cargo with Jan markings. I'm looking forward to opening that up.
Jan cargo? Oh no.
Right, next question. Who are you working for?
No, wait, that's a question that I can't answer. But listen, Admiral, that cargo. Wait, Admiral, listen!
I wonder if they'll let us torture like that in the game.
Right?
Oxypen.
It's not torture. It's enhanced interrogation. Too soon.
I don't think he's gonna last another hour. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. He set a new record. I'm gonna fetch the Admiral and see what he wants to do. Don't call me ready. Okay, I promise that I will not touch him.
Help. Guard. Please, help me. I need water. Please. Elite Special Forces vacuum survival training. Comes in handy sometimes. Right, so let's put you out your misery. I had high hopes for you. It's been a while since we've had a record breaker. Oh, you cheeky bugger. Right, set the alarms. I want every man out that lock. You, pick him up. Can you read me? This is not gonna end well. There! Get after her! Come on, go! Carl, come in. I could use your help here, pal. You took quite a while for yourself, maybe this far. I'm impressed. It's a shame you can't be able to survive. Admiral, it's game over, I'm afraid. If you're to make any move against me right now, you'll upset my friend Carl. And when he's upset, he'll do whatever it takes to neutralize the threat. When that happens, I can't stop him. You'd be sending your own death warrant. Perhaps we should just leave it till we go back inside there.
Why are you coming up the hall?
Take it down and take the whole bloody platform with it if you have to.
It's funny that you mentioned real quick and cannot
Alright, I'm moving in. Yes, Rat Museum. Okay, I have another lock, and it's on the way.
It doesn't have an 80s feel.
I just lost it. Hang on a second, I have some kind of shield malfunction going on here. Yeah, it looks like your missile's off course. Weird. Looks like it's turning around. It's coming back on me. It's on me. Bike it, Jeff. I've got no shields. I got no shields. I can't, Jeff. It's got the missile. Get out of there. Help me. I can't, Jeff. I can't, Jeff. I can't, Jeff. I got no shields. It's got the missile. It's on me, man. Help me. Help me. I'm sorry, Warrior. There is something very fishy about that penguin. Alright, no missiles. I'm going old school. Alright, let me see you hack this.
Someone said that's why we don't buy Jake. No check receipts. It's a sort of sour.
You killed Royale, and now I'm gonna kill you.
Captain. Calm. Class. Streak. Maneuvers. Last 3 authorized.
Where'd he go?
This is 6 or 7. Oh, they went super widescreen for this one.
Sir. Relax, son. You're not in the Navy anymore.
Yes, sir. We have a matching signature, sir. We're tracking it now, sir.
Good. Brief the crew.
Yes, sir. Target is currently en route from Yella. It's an Avenger, sir.
An Avenger? So it's true.
It's badly damaged, sir. One man on board, barely alive by the look of it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know what this ship is capable of. Do not get complacent.
We have a lock, sir.
Start the count.
Interdiction in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2...
Fire.
About the audio.
Reroute the power!
Episode 6 is the only episode I've seen up until today, and I thought this was the whole thing. I didn't know it was the whole series. You're making a music connection here in Twitch chat.
Maybe around there, but I think it might be a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it might be earlier than that. Good visuals.
Relax.
dragonfly jacking.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Walked away from it?
That's the thing, see? Most people don't associate ladies like us with salvage, do they, Shell? That's right, Mel. In fact, we're the best in the whole system at salvage, aren't we, Mel?
Wow.
That's right, Shell.
Wow.
And you look like you get about it, which is why we would like to extend our invitation for you to become part of our exclusive partnership program. That's
I'm in
right, Mel.
love. No
if
way.
you find a wreck or any sort of salvage worth our while, send us a com, and we'll give you a finder's fee. Anyway, Shooping's about 40 kilometres that way, and we can't give you a lift because it's ladies only, I'm afraid. Bye.
How much is the finance fee we're talking here? That creepy laugh too, great day.
The most important thing to us here at Scuba and Daymar is that the wheels keep turning, trains keep running, production doesn't stop. Now we're quite remote, so we got a lot of threats, various local pirate groups, etc., which is why we carry ourselves a fairly competent security detail. And most of the time, of course, we get by. But Hugo Thestra, on the other hand, well, that's a completely different animal. Not only is he the fastest shooter I've ever seen, but he's also ruthless. He's a murderer, he's a thief, and he's got our security detail scared completely stiff. So when a man comes round with a really big gun, asking the whereabouts of one of the biggest threats to our daily mining operations, I'm gonna point him in the right direction. 2 days ago he came round with his brothers. Shot a man in the leg, took some more. They've had much worse days than that though, I can tell you. But he left heading east, out towards Wolf Point, be my guess. I'd offer you a ride, but it's no man's land out there. Nobody dumb enough to give you a lift either. But you look like you can look after yourself.
All he does is bloody walk.
Like the fourth wall breaking.
What's bloody always happening to me? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
That's how I feel every time I fight with GG.
What have you done, Shell? I ain't done nothing, Mel. What have you done, Shell? We've lost power, Mel. We're going down. Reboot it. I can't. It ain't working. Auxiliary? Nope. Shit, Mel. Shit, Shell. All crew, brace for impact.
Look up at the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's an Avenger.
It's reinforced. Keep cutting. Where the hell did you come from?
It's okay. It's a buffer.
You are too late. The ship belongs to us now. I didn't come for the ship. Say the word, brother. I'm afraid you'll have to forgive my brother here. He can be a little trigger-happy. Now, I'd like you to remove your weapons and put them on the ground. Please. I don't like that idea much. You think you have a choice? Haven't decided yet. You could always try and take us on. Not a fair fight. Well, now you see you don't have a choice. I meant for you. One of me against only 3 of you. It's not a fair fight. Oh dear, this desert really brings out the weirdos. My brother here has his rifle aimed directly at your head, and he never misses. I'd rather he not put a hole in that nice helmet. So, if you would be so kind.
He's a Bible
Chance to pull the trigger. He's off balance, and he has sweat in his eyes. You, on the other hand, are different. You're hiding it well, but you've shifted the weight from your left heel. That's a kind of preemptive stance that only comes from years of training, which makes you a threat. A small threat, but one not to be trifled with. A bounty hunter. You're a hard man to track down. Hugo Fester. Who's your client? Not important. Well, so be it.
Really?
Yeah.
Totally believable.
Say the word, brother.
There's one guy doing all those voices? Dang.
Resourceful, man.
Yeah, if it's the music does feel like good to bad. It feels like a western. It was a western. One more episode.
Now the other one's a previous one and stuff in the 6.
Okay.
And you
All right,
got
so
Turasawa has joined you along with Fist.
What up, Kuno?
Hey, Kuno.
I think he's
muted.
Mic is muted.
Hey, what's going on? I'm sorry, I had the.
There you go.
I was watching on Twitch while I was on Discord, and I didn't want to have everything all going at the same time and create a bunch of
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So
What'd you guys think of the machinima?
Well, like I said, I was surprised at how entertaining it was to me. I'm usually pretty picky about that stuff.
Yeah. That was actually my first time watching it, so I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah, like I said, I saw episode 6 first, and evidently I saw the last episode first.
Good one, FC.
But it was good.
Yeah. Is Fist, you still there, Fist Face?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. What you think, man?
I enjoyed it. I have to agree with you, Griff. When you first told me about this one, it does start off slow and picks up towards the end. Yeah, the two lady characters definitely woke me up. that was creepy. That was good. You know, I definitely enjoyed.
I fell in love with them at first sight. I don't know about you.
Yeah, of course. You know, the facial expressions always get me.
This is what happens when you drink too much coffee all at one time.
That desert water do it to you all the time. Right?
It gets you. It gets you.
The cactus water.
Cactus juice. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked the progression. And it definitely, like, I think it was Jade spoke about it, to see how the game has progressed in graphics from back then. You know, I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. Yeah, they did a very good job. I'm going to be honest. I mean, from one of the scenes to just kind of point out was when they did the EMP on a hammerhead, and how the way that looked. I was like, whoa, okay, how did they get that shot?
That was cool, wasn't it?
That was really cool.
How did they get a lot of these shots there? The angles were amazing. Like from the first episode.
You know, the cinematics is great. I was like, man, because I'm, trying to pick up some of these things that's going on in there that they're doing,
Yeah, I was appreciative of the, I can imagine the amount of effort that went into putting this together. So it's really appreciative because they're working with the tool as it progresses, right? So they're delivering the best at one state, and then they're going to the next patch or the next couple patches where CIG releases something or upgrades or changes or tweaks, and they're dealing with that and still making this content. So yeah, really hats off to the team there that put that together.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, HTC, I think it's HTC, has a full body motion tracker, kind of like a eye tracker, but it will translate the full body motion into a virtual environment. People have been using it for streaming with 3D avatars and whatnot. What do you think will happen in terms of machinima type stuff if they integrate that into Star Citizen, and where now your character can do, like, you can actually raise your hand up in game, your real hand, and then your character does that in game, with finger articulation and everything.
That's crazy. That would be so cool. I mean, I know that, like, I guess it'll probably be pretty intensive for, like, your rig, but a lot of us have upgraded rigs and just to get, like, what we can out of this game. But, hey, I'm looking at you, FC. Make sure it doesn't fall off the desk again, buddy.
I'm waiting for that.
But yeah, I think that'd be cool, Kuno. Like, if it could be integrated, man. That's next level, dude. Holy smokes!
And be able to pick. I mean, the shelf.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I mean, every time they do something like this, right? Like when photographs first came out, it went to one industry first. When movies came out, it went to one industry first. Like when this come out, the porn industry will take off again.
Wait, what happened? Wait. wait. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, listen. Yeah. But I know, right? I'm listening to it too. I'm like, wow. But anyway, one thing I will say about the VR technology, for those who I personally am going to try to use it myself. Once it definitely gets ironed out. But hopefully nobody, breaks anything, because one of the things about VRs that I've always seen people do on these funny videos is they lose their sense of reality of what's going on around them.
Yeah, the perspective is there.
Yeah, I'm like
facial awareness.
Yeah, exactly. I always see people like they'll put it on and then they'll just like lose your concept of what's in the room. It's like you forgot that you were actually in the real world.
Don't have anything like on any level around.
Like they run into a wall kind of thing?
Exactly.
No, not just wall, but like furniture.
Yeah.
Well, I know the VR thing that I was talking about for tracking movement. They apparently you don't put on any kind of VR, like rig on your face for that, because then the thing can't pick up your facial movements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they're going to find a way to overcome that, where they'll have some sort of facial tracker thingy built into a head rig at some point where you can put it on and it'll still find a way to track your eyes and eyebrows and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, some of the things I thought about in watching this, like the angles are amazing. I mentioned that. The audio for the Caterpillar was well done. I didn't notice the Caterpillar audio until it was like just before it appeared. So I thought that was subtle and well done. The music was well placed, well done and well chosen. The super wide shot in episode 6, that was not jarring, but it was different. I like the new look, the new perspective in that one. And man, Twitch chat was going off on a joke. Like the main character stares the Mandalorian. I said before in Twitch chat, I think this was filmed before the first season of Mandalorian. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
the thing is,
they definitely took the spaghetti western Clint Eastwood model for it for that last episode. So
good, bad.
Strong
that's what the
influences.
Mandalorian is.
Encino, Mancino.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about you, Tenth? What did you think?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think one of the things, in addition to just the progression of the technology was the thing that I appreciated about the story, at least, or really about machinima, honestly, guys, is the way that people will think about telling the story inside of the verse. And I read somewhere in chat during the machinima that it'll be really cool to see. Someone mentioned that it'd be really cool to see when people start making stories in the SC verse that aren't directly connected to the verse, right? And maybe some of it like expanded lore or whatever. That'll be cool to see, like people who, okay, that was Ramar.
Right, Amar.
Okay, yeah,
and I was saying, like I think that's already been done, but I can't remember the title. It's like there's so much content out there that's made. I'm pretty sure someone has done it already. I just don't recall who it is at this moment. But I'm pretty sure it's been done, but we'll expect more in the future. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's what I was thinking too. Just that'd be cool to see more of that.
Hey, I'd like to ask Mark to ask for his thoughts and clarifications on his own question. I'm guessing Ra'amar's that guy. Am I assuming too much there?
I don't know.
Ra'amar?
we're actually.
Yeah, but go ahead and ask the question. Go ahead and ask the question. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, what I was wondering is, is Ramar asking, about people filming things, machinimas in Star Citizen that aren't even like in the Star Citizen universe at all? In Spain in 1842, this event happened, and they have things mocked up so that they can realistically do that on some level. Or are we talking about things that technically could be happening in the universe, but in the verse, but have no relationship to referencing the verse? I mean, everybody brushes their teeth, so here's a guy going about his normal day, and he happens to be in the verse, but there's no reference to the verse because that's not important.
That's a good point of clarification.
Oh, and as far as Ra'amar saying, it doesn't matter who Ra'amar says, I just don't want to be disrespecting, that's all.
Yeah,
they're just pulling your leg.
Oh, okay, cool.
we have a fun group here. Don't worry. We all pull each other's leg. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I met him at CitizenCon, but I didn't want to speak for the person, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah. That's a good question, though. And maybe, Ramar, you can kind of elaborate on that, whether you're referring to things that are just totally outside of SC or whether you're talking about just things that aren't in the SC lore. I appreciate the fact that there was a lot of work that went into this period. Like you guys said, whether it was the cinematography, the music, a lot of story. I'm like Tenth. That scene where the torture sequence was going on was something I'd never really thought of. That was pretty intense. And I do love the fact that they built the personality with the ship, which was pretty cool. So there's a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of different good things in the story.
I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm looking forward to the next episode, a very special episode of HardSpace, where the captain and Carl, enhance their relationship. That'll be interesting.
You do realize you're pressurizing this thing. You can't hear what I'm saying, right?
But you know what?
And you realize when you shoot someone in the face with a gun, the air goes out and they're supposed to die, right?
But listen, but you know what?
Going through.
Well, if he's got a pressurized suit, it'd take a while, as long as there was still pressure pushing in on it. But he was in there for a good while.
A bullet went through.
Well, it cracked it. It cracked it. It cracked it. It didn't go through it because he'd be dead if it went through it. So it just cracked it. Now I will say this though, I did appreciate the fact that they did do something that most people don't do, because most people rely on sound effects. When that sequence came up where he did depressurize, the fact that it did go silent and you couldn't hear, which is exactly what you would have had happen. You wouldn't have heard any yelling or anything like that. So I thought it was cool that they kind of stuck to it. Really should have been happening there.
That is cool. Yeah.
That was creepy. That was a bit too much for me.
Yeah, it was a lot of things I was trying to take from what they were doing, because like I know Lucky, no, he's not here tonight. Me and him, we working on a series like this. So I'm trying to take a lot of what these guys have done, to incorporate it, and it's really cool.
Okay.
I like that line in the last episode. All he does is walk. I'm like that self-aware. Someone said that in chat.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that 80s music. Reminded me of Europe.
Music, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's part of what we were talking about in chat earlier with Fifth to Face. It's like, when I was a kid hearing the music in the 80s, a lot of that synth stuff just really was, I got with it, if you know what I'm saying. And then when it got to be the 90s, it started going away, and it really went away towards the late 90s. And at some point on MTV that some bunch of people I happened to be with was watching, people were talking about, oh man, it's so great that we're out of the 80s and all that awful 80s music is gone. I'll grant there's some pop fluff that I love
80s music.
But not all of us wanted all of that to go away, and now it's finally coming back. I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's always like that. It's always been like that. It's kind of like fashion, It's just it comes and goes. It's coming back around. Ash wash jeans.
But like,
I can't stand them. You will never catch me in them. I can't stand them. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. But people like them.
Thanks for coming to America. The Jerry Curl is gonna make a comeback.
Oh no! Wait! Wow! You better never commit a crime, bro. Just follow the drip. Follow the drip.
on that note.
Okay, so a lot of my family is from and in and around Japan, friends and family, right? And I've got a fair amount of connections there. And when I'll show people, like even 10, 15 years ago, I'll show people Japanese music. I'm like modern Japanese music, not like the stuff people stereotypically think of like in a movie and like the old type stuff, but like modern Japanese music, and people be like, oh man, that sounds like it's out of the 80s, man. And it's that a lot of the styles that were popular in the 80s never went away in Japan. It was always considered a thing. So, I mean, fashion comes and goes, but, you know, they thought it was worth hanging on to. And I don't see why people slammed it so hard here.
No.
I'm going to tell you this, though, and I'll save it for after the show, but a lot of the good music went overseas.
All right, we'll save it for after the show.
After the show, man. No, but guys, this was a good series, good machinima. You know, again, special shout out. Well, who's the crew that put this on? Griff, I keep
Sonic Temples.
Sonic Temples.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic Temples. Yeah, huge shout out to those guys. Good stuff, man. I love watching the content and the community there and hanging out with you guys. We're gonna wrap it up for tonight, though. And let's see what we got going on. FC Sunday show. Got the socials going on, man. What's the deal?
I gotta look it up on the what Sunday show.
Sunday
it's on the
show
screen.
It's right here.
It's right here.
See? I'm looking right at it.
My bad. Yeah, it's on another screen. Okay, I'm still used to having two screens. No, I did the brain part on my side. No, Sunday show is Stealing from Sci-Fi. There you go. 8 p.m. Sunday, so 21st.
And we have a guest. We have a guest. Who's our guest?
And we have a guest. You want me to say it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we have Buster the Destroyer coming on. Look forward to that.
Oh, nice.
And don't forget, we have merchandise. We have join us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can catch all of our shows after the fact on YouTube. So, help us out with the support. And thank you for continued support. We really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who showed up for the anniversary show. That was fun.
You know, when
anniversary show.
Currently talking with the people that run the show.
Oh, all right. We're going to be rating Scuba Steve tonight. Scuba Steve. Mm-hmm.
Oh, love it.
With time.
Mm-hmm. All right. When you guys sign us out.
Make sure you tell them peace, love, and soul.
07, everybody.
07.